rib too. Really, Christy, we look forward to the next couple of days and to meet the families and friends. And you know, the people here tonight are friends, their family, their ticket buyers, their sponsors, they're fighters, they're just people that have been involved with the game. And you know, we do this little dinner to introduce everybody to one another. And Ballroom Boxing and the success of it is because of the people that we're going to bring up here right now, real quickly. First off and foremost, this show wouldn't have made it to the first show and wouldn't have made it to the 5th show without my dad believing and financing this thing. Even when he thought I was losing my mind a lot of times. First off, I want to bring in my father, Mike Wagner, who's allowed this thing to happen. Over the years, got to 50 shows, and hopefully one day I'll pay him back half the money I cost him in the first 25.
Hi folks, this is Larry Michael. For the last 3 years, I've been ringside on Home Team Sports for the telecasts of Ballroom Boxing from Michael's 8th Avenue in Glen Burnie, Maryland. And I don't care if you're a fan, a trainer, a boxer, or a sponsor, but if you've missed Ballroom Boxing, this is what you've missed.
Action from the earlier round. John Saraceno described it, the 3rd knockdown in this fight by Bello.
Well, you see Bello trying to fight on the inside, working away against Rucker, and now you're going to see the counter right hand right down the middle. Down goes Rucker on his back.
He's totally short-circuited Rucker again. 3 times Rucker has been absolutely scrambled by the right hand of Bello. Big left hand by Rucker, and down goes Bello. Oh my goodness, what a turnaround. Bello's in bad shape right now. Wobbling up. He's okay though. They've got to let this fight go. Let's see if Rucker can finish it. What a comeback it would be.
And suddenly Bello's got the neurological nightmare, Larry.
Big left by Rucker. Bello in a lot of trouble.
He's going to stop him.
Rucker's got him in a lot of trouble right now.
Oh, wow.
Another left by Rucker, and another. Malik Waleed taking a long look. Another left hand by Rucker, and another one.
What guts by Bello. Look at him fighting back off the ropes.
Bello's going to go down. Another right hand. This fight is over. What a comeback by Dana Rucker. Knocked down 3 times in this fight. Comes back with a knockout of his own. How about that?
Incredible performance by Dana Rucker. Knocked down in the 2nd round, knocked down in the 5th round, knocked down in the 6th round, and with only 2 rounds to go, snatches victory from the jaws of proverbial defeat does Dana Rucker.
And Rucker's legs aren't quite under him still from the knockdowns. Look at him.
I think he's walking on air because you know what? He really shouldn't have won this fight, but you know what? He found a way to win the fight.
Right now, we're going to talk to the promoter of Ballroom Boxing and find out how this all got started. His name is Scott Wagner. And Scott, this whole program of boxing here at Michael's 8th Avenue had kind of humble beginnings. Tell us about that.
Real humble beginnings. I mean, we didn't have to rent chairs when we started this thing 12 years ago. I mean, we basically started this thing just as something that, as a banquet hall facility to keep the lights on. And I didn't know anything about boxing other than Sugar Ray Leonard fought on ABC Wide World of Sports, and Craig Etheridge sucker punched me in the 3rd grade down in the Ferndale Elementary School parking lot. That's about what I knew. I caught the bug, and I really saw an opportunity, and we just kind of built our foundation and built it up, and 13 years later, it's we're selling out the place and having fun. It's sometimes I wonder why, but it's certainly a lot of fun.
Yeah, and here's the guy that puts it all together, Scott Wagner. He really has no clue actually what he's doing when it comes to facts, but he can put together a good fight, especially as you saw in that Gomez fight.
Well, when you get a former NFL football player, current NFL football player around, it's a little tough to get the facts right.
And an old favorite, where'd you get this guy?
We're here with Dave Wilkerson, who's fighting the winner of the Ishmael Arvin Ariel Espinal fight. Tell me what you're thinking when you watch Arvin this week.
I don't even know. I don't even care about that. When I get the ring, basically, I'm just going to try to knock him out. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm talking about. Knock people out.
Well, Dave, would like to wish you luck this Thursday night in the ballroom.
Thank you very much. I can't wait. I'll see you all out there, okay? Yeah, okay?
This is Scott Wagner. Back to you, John and Larry.
It's not as fun because you start to learn more and more about the product, and you start to see the problems of the sport and the things that you want to accomplish, the things you want to do better, and it all of a sudden becomes, you know, a job in some senses as opposed to a promotion. But it is fun. The people in the sport, and the thing that I say more than anything is that the perception of the sport of Mike Tyson and Don King, although the people that I know that know Don King and Mike Tyson really don't have that much bad to say, but the public believes that that's bad, and the sponsorships and the sponsors, they run from it. That's the frustrating part, because the sport is loaded with just great people, and that's why we're involved in it.
But certainly Ballroom Boxing is taking a step toward maybe changing that dynamic a little bit. Tell us about that.
I mean, I'd like to think that we're, you know, changing. We're not really trying to change anything as much as we're just doing things that we think is the right way to do it. I mean, I don't think we're pioneers in any regard. I just think that we're looking at things that, you know, when, you know, Dad and I, and being in business and, you know, our family for years right here in Glen Burnie, Maryland, we're just doing it the way we think is the right way to do it. Now, if that's being different, to me, it just doesn't make sense that you just treat people good. You know, the fan is the commodity to us. You make good fights. People like good fights. People watch boxing. It's been dying since Cain and Abel and Adam and Eve, and I think Bert Sugar covered Adam and Eve, by the way, and Howard Letterman got the scorecard wrong. But they've been watching it for years. It's been dying forever, and, you know, people still support it, and it's a sport that it will go on forever. It just needs to be done the right way, and the fan is the most important, you know, aspect to us. Look at this. I haven't eaten much this week. Oh, God, I hate when that happens. This is terrible. What do we got? 144 3/4. Scott, that was a nice article.
We're here with the master of the madness, the man behind the mayhem, promoter Scott Wagner. Scott, this must be a great night for you.
Well, it's, you know, all boxing nights, it's kind of mixed emotions. I mean, you know, you're happy they're coming and here, and, you know, I guess mainly you're happy everybody showed up and is in the ring, and yeah, but it's starting to calm down for me at this hour, sure.
So now tell me something. Ballroom Boxing goes out to over 30 million homes up and down the East Coast, and of course all over the satellite networks. Tell me something. Are we going to move out of Glen Burnie? Are we going to expand where Ballroom Boxing goes? Where do you see the show in 5 years?
You know, I don't know. I don't look in the crystal ball that far. I mean, I really just try to take each show one by one, improve each show one by one, and, you know, little things, whether it's the you know, the parking or the security or the fights or the ring card girls or the, you know, it's all important, and time from time, you can hear us calling for us now. You know, 5 years down the road, you know, I don't even predict that far.
Last spring, Jimmy Lang and James Johnson went at it, one of the greatest local fights ever. It happened at Michael's 8th Avenue Ballroom Boxing. It's given local fight fans and the local fight game a huge shot in the arm for the last 6 years. With me, the gentleman behind Ballroom Boxing, Scott Wagner of Michael's 8th Avenue. Scotty, thanks for coming up on Memorial Day weekend. The local fight scene, you're very big into this, have been for years. The state of it, how good is it? What's the future hold?
Well, I mean, right now, Maryland boxing and really the D.C. region is probably stronger than it's ever been. I mean, you got 3 or 4 world champions, I mean, legitimate world champions. The club scene's at its best that it's been in years. The boxing commission's excellent. I mean, they're demanding competitive fights, and really, regardless of where you see a show in Maryland right now, you're going to see good boxing. If you come to a fight card and the red corner wins 7 out of 7 fights, you're not really, you know, the fans, you can keep the fans from 18 to 88. A fighter you can keep for maybe 4 or 5 years, maybe. I just never saw the value in that. I thought that you just do it for the public, the viewer, the listener, the paying customer. Most people in the business call me foolish because you invest all this money into the fighters
and you don't have a back end. I mean, his Sim Rockman's getting ready to fight for $5 million against Vitaly Klitschko, arguably, and Rock, good friend of ours. I mean, he'll tell you. I mean, hey, he lost, he lost 3 and drew 1 after he beat Lewis, and now he's fighting for the heavyweight title. He fought 3 times here. Do I have a back end in it? No. But what did I provide for the fans? I mean, I think that's equally as valuable. And you know what? It couldn't happen to a better person than Rockman. So should we get involved with fighters? I'm still up in the air. I really think that being neutral makes us different than every other promoter in the world.
Let's hear it for Scott Wagner, ladies and gentlemen. Great job. Great job.